You're listening to 17 Carat K-Pop. For more about this show, as well as my other podcast, How to Stan, visit 17caratkpop.weebly.com. There you'll find episode guides, as well as additional reading, more exclusive content, tons of great stuff. And never miss an update, an album review, interview, etc. by subscribing to the free newsletter, howtostan.substack.com. You could also become a paying subscriber on Substack, and that means you're supporting an independent creator and become part of a community, howtostan.substack.com. Enjoy the show! Welcome back to 17 Carat K-Pop. Today's Best of 2022 So Far countdown is focused on the best songs of the year so far in the worlds of K-pop, J-pop, C-pop, T-pop, etc. all on the same list. This one, I think I'll just kind of randomize the order I talk about them, and then to see the final ranking, check out my piece at howtostan.substack.com coming up soon. I'll make sure it's open to free subscribers as well, but anyway, today I thought, how about we do kind of the game we did last time, but also not. So I'm going to describe the song before I tell you the artist and title, like I did last time, but just not give you as much time to guess what I'm talking about. So not really a game like last time, but still I like this format better because then you don't have to be like, wait, what song were you talking about? What was that called? Just, hey, if I'm describing a song that sounds right up your alley, then you can be anticipating me revealing what the song is and write it down then, rather than me say what the song is, then describe it, and then have you maybe forget or zone out and not know who I'm talking about. Just seems easier this way. Without further ado, here is what I picked. Best of the year so far. A really fun to say, fun to sing along to, beyond adorable girl group debut song, Wadada by Kepler. A rock-inspired song that also kind of takes a weird pivot, not really opera style, but in the vein of that style. Hard to explain, very them, very full of personality, and quite reminiscent of Block B. Pentagon, The Game, and I also love One Shot. These alluring whispers really interestingly contrast with the theme of empowerment and just feeling like a boss, the perfect workout companion song. High Key, Athletic Girl. A really rich song that's hard to forget, with this a cappella, hushed, dramatic murmuring as his voice rises slowly and then all of a sudden really crashes. The instruments reach their crescendo, really anthemic, really cinematic. Max Chainman, Devil. A 70s rock and hip-hop inspired jam that kicked off the year with the energy it needed and had some great lyrics commenting on debating what awards actually matter. N- Blessed Cursed. Listening to this song for the first time was a trip. Very unpredictable. Starts orchestral, changes to a rock song with lots of synthy overtones, and all the while some very tongue-in-cheek lyrics. Woozy, Ruby. A kind of sultry, more mature for them song that definitely, finally, got its due video and attention, but it started out as a B-side, but definitely worth a second look. From S9, Escape Room. A really cool way to start off the year, distorted bass, kind of grungy sound, very in-your-face and definitive of their persona. Blitzers, Bobbin. A Chinese song, very instrumental driven, and the spaced out vocal arrangement, the roomy, spacey feel of the atmospheric song really amplifies the instrumental's memorableness. Daiichi Mura, Le Penseur. An interesting R&B alternative trap twist for this artist, known for more retro, bouncy bubblegum songs, but surprisingly pivots quite smoothly for this B-side. Eill, Tada no Gyaru. Very artfully electronified vocals mixed with thrilling bass layers for a really fast-paced joy. Yoshiki Izaki, Running. A very sassy song, quipping about thanks for spending so much time with my wallet and kind of jokingly complaining. The things I do for love, the money I will spend for love. Suddenly I have infinite willingness to go broke. MC Sniper, Love Burnout. A fun pivot for him with a house music single that showed off his signature vocal delivery, so a nice mix of old and new from him. Wonho, Eye on You. Kind of like an alt trap song, alt R&B, very alternative, but clearly the rap and hip-hop influences that tend to drive her music are still very present. But funky, dramatic piano in her, again, kind of alt version of rapping. Kumikoda, Bow Wow. And I also want to give a shout out to her beautiful pop ballad, Anemone. And Atlas, which has really pop-ish choruses, bubblegummy pop choruses, but still clearly the song has these hip-hop roots. Really rich, impressive production for this B-side with dark but very poetic ways of describing feeling stuck in an endless winter. A relationship is now just a permanently frosty relationship. Taeyeon, Cold as Hell. Classic to them, a thought-provoking rumination on social status, what makes up true wealth, what really matters in life, materialism, the woes of it, the pressure of social media, to keep up with trends, to live in the moment, struggling to balance those juxtaposing views of, hey, I need to stay on top of the trends, keep future-focused, versus I need to enjoy the now. Epic High and Lehigh, Rich Kids Anthem. A really beautiful ballad with such raw pain in her voice and a beautiful weaving together of the piano, the strings later on. Perfect production, stellar delivery, really packs the emotional punch it needed to. In her high notes, I'm hitting onto every one. Millet, Loved by You. A song I elaborated a ton about in an essay on my site because it's such a powerful song, as is every song on this stellar album. This one really does kind of sift through and try to process, mull over in her mind what went wrong in a relationship, what's worth remembering, what to discard, and why is she still there? Is this relationship really worth it? Trying to truly tally up pros and cons of it, and as her voice masterfully, powerfully proclaims and emphasizes beautifully at the very end, the satisfied feeling is when she declares just one reason, true love, nothing else to explain. None of the details, the particulars can help me articulate this feeling. But then she feels like she has to pull back, let go of the relationship. The instrumentals pause. There's a very heavy silence. Seems like the whole album is over before this swell of optimism resurges with the instruments one more time. Just tells quite a chapter-filled story. Millet, One Reason. A fan favorite that eventually really grew on people, myself included, with its rock remix and the music video treatment fans demanded, really reinforcing how this song should grow on you and is more special, more of a standout than you thought. Treasure, Dorari. A Latin-influenced, bass-driven song meant to actually kind of pick up a story right where a previous song of his left off. Kim Woo-suk, Ghostin'. The low drums that proliferate in this song, combined with her hushed tone, the muttered echoing, the muttered voices behind her, it's all very different. It's a refreshing song to go with a very ambiguous music video. Chen Xiao, Lonely Beauty. This song is so jam-packed. It's a freaking event. It's a whole opera, rock opera meets marching band song. It's just a lot. So many percussion layers, guitar layers, big dramatic twists and turns, and their standout vocals. A lot of moving parts just are pulled off so well. TVXQ, Epitaph. A very creepy, quirky piano playfully accompanies this introductory song for the album that sets the tone for a very rock meets rap meets just other eclectic subgenres that blur different genres together. It tees up the very quirky listening experience you are about to have really well. Super Dragon, Welcome to My Hell. I feel truly blessed to have heard this song live. Really stirring performance, really showcases his vocals, and is just so well done, so well performed, perfect for his voice. When he sings about losing it, you sense that feeling that he lost it. So it's kind of a cathartic, empathy-creating, listening experience. The soul is there. Kihyun, Rain. Adorable mix of pop, acoustic, R&B, all sorts of sounds, with super lovely, cute, high register harmonies. Red Velvet, Bamboleo. In the same vein, their harmonies and eccentric mix of instrumentals and genre influences are very prominent on Rainbow Halo and Good, Bad, Ugly. Lots of mixes of deep and light, high register, airy details. Angelic vocals, sometimes with lower, heavier tones, mixing surprisingly well together throughout the whole album, really. Very funny, gibberish ad-libs mixed with an interesting flute sound, a trademark boldness, a sense of assuredness as they proclaim their identity, sonically and lyrically, right up their alley. Stray Kids, Charmer. Each member's strong suit gets its own place to shine, from stirring vocal performances, both high and low, to rapping that smoothly connects verses as opposed to feeling thrown in there messily. Not a disjointed song, yet it also manages to keep distinct moments for each member's voice and musicianship to be flexed, basically. G-Idol, Already. Really hard to explain opening sound effect that continues throughout the song. Just very, very quirky, very funny, and they're delivering bad news to you in the most ironically upbeat way, basically with analogies about not tripping over, not falling for traps about what could ruin your day, not letting them, not allowing those things to permeate your mind and hinder you. Tempest, Bad News. Beautiful, strong vocals on this rock-ish ballad that would sound great live with a live band, finding a way to honor memories and bid them adieu, move on to the next chapter of life. This is not goodbye, but see you later, in a very poetic way. Yoonha, Event Horizon. A huge hodgepodge of sounds in the verses, and then more just hip-hop focused and flute-accompanied choruses. Really quite a zigzagging song, but it's very memorable, distinct, and catchy. It grows on you, if you give it the time to. Now Aihara, Lighthouse. A really addictive bass line and lots of snapping keeps this one a head bopper, worth nodding along to, as they sing about loving the oblivion, finding a very new way to talk about the classic bad boy mindset, being willing to love and lose instead of not love at all. Loving at the end of the world, basically. Be First, Betrayal Game. A standout B-side on her debut to really just show off her voice on its own and how impressive it is, and how it doesn't just stay in one lane, not just light, airy songs, but substantive, deeper stuff too. Miyeon, Te Amo. An EDM song with piano and guitar sliced in there. Anime rock roots are still there, but it's very much a thrill ride, trademark to this group, about learning to find your own gold medal, symbolically already, with you all along. Egoist, Gold. A song with tons of moments that make you think classically them. That's so them to do that. Parts of the chorus that feel more hip-hop song ready, but then the key powerful vocalist gets to focus on the more emotional parts of the song. They each get their place on this song, soundtracked with a really catchy piano-based tune. And of course it starts out with this really nice sounding hushed whisper, the bass kicks in. It's just really good. Really well done way to keep it exciting throughout. Monsta X, Love. This B-side deserves so much more love. Truly, I think it's one where you hear it and you just like it, but you've got to go back, listen to it a lot more, and realize how good it is. It's an interesting new turn for them, kind of a jazzier feel, but also thematically very on point. Dreamcatcher, Locked Inside a Door. A feel-good, high-energy, party-ready song with a fiddle and piano and clapping, clap-worthy parts. Just very danceable. Fakey, Diamond Glitter. An artist I have ranted countless times about on this show, and I will always say he's so underrated, good at what he does, his perfect musical sweet spot, this very synth-heavy, nostalgia-laced music that has this yearning in it for something. And this emotional brink he's at, this breaking point, can be felt in the way his vocals move throughout the song. From 20, Wheel, Weol. A very new sound for him. A Latin pop collab that adds another interesting sonic detour to his all-around catchy pop album. King Daniel featuring Jesse, Don't Tell. A well-crafted mix of modern and traditional instruments, trends, mixes of percussion, guitar, synth layers, and more of an R&B vibe. For Eve, exceptional. A fantastic album opening number, very theatrical, as the music video is too, bold, festive introduction to his music. Nissi, Trippin'. A song I wrote a whole essay about on Substack for the David Bowie parallels, the references to concepts from nursery rhymes that date back centuries, and the modern way they twisted the meaning to match their storytelling. TXT, Thursday's Child Has Far to Go. A beyond adorable song. Truly just so cute and puts a smile on my face every time. Very happy, very confidence boosting. Pre-Kill, Somebody. One of those pop songs that seems forgettable, but when you revisit it, it grows on you to the point you're like, this was so underrated, this is so catchy. Kawaguchi Arena, Look at Me. Another incredible OST this year, but on the other side, where it's very dramatic and heavy, but in a good way, Hyolyn and Shia's coming-of-age ceremony. An angsty rock song that really takes its time, lets her establish her vocal presence well. Kim Yeji, Alone. A fun mix of computer game music and pop rock guitars. Moonbyul's She's in the Trap. Their classic rock icon status in the world of K-pop that's always made them stand out. Very present here. Plus there's more to love because of the underlying message about climate change delivered in a ridiculously catchy way. And then there's the haunting final moments of the song that up the cinema of the accompanying video. Dreamcatcher, Mason. A song that's kind of accidentally in partnership in a hushed convo with NCT 127's Punch. And after that quirky delivery, there are other sound effects, ad-libs, and everything but the kitchen sink sonic approach. A personality-packed song once again, with a really fun, unexpected rock breakdown in the bridge. NCT Dream's Glitch Mode. This is one of those songs that makes you wish you could play the instrument. It makes it sound so fun to play the piano with this song and the backup voices that keep piping up as he yells about leave me alone. It's a very live musical theater performance concept, an over-the-top display of this guy's nerves. Max Chainman, Maniac. Full of ad-libs, goofy funny moments, ping ping and aha, haha, the sound of a screwdriver. It is just chock full of unexpected details. And of course, Felix's deep voice, always exciting to hear, always a little surprising, because it doesn't look like that deep voice would come out of him, but there you go. Stray Kids, Maniac. A guitar-based, bouncy pop song with a very cute message, very cute voices, that goes with a very cute, one-of-a-kind video, what's not to love? Woo-ah, Catch the Stars. This interesting filter on his voice makes this whole song sound kind of detached from reality, like it's in a parallel world, which makes sense given the video contrast to his much more plain daily life scene in the other title track video. Suho, Hurdle. A music video we actually didn't talk about yet on the show, but I encourage you to check it out because it's very, what did I just watch? It's very leaves you thinking, huh? In a good way though. I like very, what is going on music videos. So anyway, go check out the video for this rock duet, very hardcore rock duet. Clouds of Smoke by Kimberly Chen and Flesh Juicer. Truly, I predict this will be, and it should be at least, in the list of best K-pop songs for everyone, all the major media outlets, because it really is, it feels like a cultural moment for K-pop, when this girl group really reached the next level. A classic in the making, a huge declaration, a refusal to conform to what some boyfriend wants, a refusal to let society define them, an insistence on defining themselves. G-idol, tomboy. They also have a powerful declaration of being an independent thinker and actor, refusing to let anyone else control their narrative in Liar. A massive genre blend that is also just so characteristically them, and the internet rightfully freaked out over it. It is just everything, and I truly just don't have the words to describe it. It just hits hard, next level, if you're a longtime fan. It just brings all the feels, because it's so them. It's just such a gift. BTS, Run BTS. Really well done song, taken next level live with a very captivating live performance from one member solo who put his own twist on it. Wildfire by Monsta X. This song is full of really cool effects. If you're into the construction of songs, this is a good one to study. The detours for tempos, for spaced out drum beats, for moments where voices linger as instruments pull back, then the bass comes roaring back. It's a whole show. Official Hij Dandism, Anarchy. A very cool B-side with kind of an unconventional format, kind of a weird pattern to its pacing. Kepler, Mask. This song is impossible to not headbang to. It is just so perfect for any night at a club, for any dance floor, any EDM performance. It just goes off. It does what it had to do. Miyavi, Dumb. An adorable K-pop classic in the making, truly, with a very viral TikTok dance trend to go with it. It's a very cute, sweet addition to a repackage. N-hyphen, Polaroid, Love. Their classic alternative pop sound with deep distorted bass sounds and other unexpected tones, all very dramatic and matching the passion in their voices. Only One of, Skins. A soft synth pivot compared to the rest of the album, but still not disjointed from it because of the acoustic elements. Han Sun-yoon's Moon Driver. Truly one of the most beautiful voices out there right now, telling a compelling story that adds to the compelling ambiguity of the accompanying video. Davida, Bonnie and Clyde. One of the most impactful to me lyrics of the year comes from this. The empty seat is louder than the sound of laughter. It's about missing someone. Epic High, featuring Kim Feel, Family Portrait. A disco pop song reflecting on growing up and wondering if there's a way to recapture that childlike spirit before feeling more jaded and dejected as you grow up. Taeyeon, Toddler. A pretty singular, straightforward vibe, but a catchy one nonetheless, with beyond pleasant vocals. Ragoon and Marshall's Thumbnail. A rock meets electropop classic from him that really leaves the album on a strong note. Ravi, Warrior. Their trademark, impressive harmonies return on the special teaser of what was to come on the album. Little Glee Monster, Your Name. Those harmonies are back to leaving me enthralled on Magic. A song that artfully utilizes moments of quiet to work on building up the climaxes, building up to the suspenseful drops. So it makes for a very movement-filled, sweeping soundscape. And somehow the song makes room for tons and tons of vocals to harmonize in a way that doesn't sound bad. Nogizaka 46, Actually. A song that suits his voice well and uses grammar, punctuation as this metaphor for his relationship, pleading for this break, this pause. Not a period or question mark, a different kind of punctuation. He doesn't want to break up, but he wants space to kind of process and reassess what's going on. Kihyun, comma. Honorable mention, of course, goes to his title track, Voyager, which is also really well suited to his voice. An unexpected, dramatic, sassy turn for them, with a super addictive chorus and very interesting use of autotune. Weekly, Venpara. A B-side finally getting the video and attention it deserves that shows off their unique Billie Eilish adjacent voices at times and vibe, and this cavalier tone, this I don't care tone, with kind of dark sinister undertones and just a catchy instrumental. Purple Kiss, Pretty Psycho. A song that involved getting a ton of instrumentalists together, a ton of musicians together to each add their own contribution. Massive group project that really brought the album energy up. The Solutions, The Middle. I couldn't decide which genre blending, new to them, unconventional sound I wanted to shout out from Very Very. I've just been overall impressed with their growth this year. So I'm going to shout out to both O and Undercover. A song that frankly should have been this J-pop group's big single instead of what they went with. But anyway, really deserves to be a sleeper hit. It's one of those classic J-pop anthems that K-pop boy band fans would love if they knew about it. OWV, Sound the Alarm. A logic-defying song in how it does manage to keep the energy at its peak nonstop. It doesn't drop ever. It has some fun, dramatic pauses where everything stops, but then the sounds all resume at their full energy level. Really fast, quite a thrill. JO1, YOLO Konde. Compulsively loop-worthy, cause it starts right away, ends abruptly. It's made for looping. It's very emo. It's a J-rock song with whispered moments that come across as kind of unnerving rather than comforting and calming. Very interesting, eerie vibe. Wagamama Rakia, Gravity Game. I couldn't decide which Bull 4 songs to put here. They're all such beautiful stories, each one with her soothing, pleasing, beyond compare voice, all telling stories of her growth, self-love, reflection, really just timeless, relatable yet personal storytelling here. Really impressed with the whole album. But my specific shoutouts today will go to Girl in the Mirror and What Makes This Beautiful, a 70s rock-inspired reunion with a reflective feel that brings on the nostalgia for more reasons than just Sonic. Big Bang, Still Life. This song has kind of Dumb and Dumber vibes, definitely early Icon. I know, I just spoiled it. It's Icon with Dragon. Definitely early Icon, energy level and sound, and also taps back into their younger sensibilities with a childlike analogy, comparing their situation to a dragon, facing their fears, being anything but flammable, making it through the fire, releasing their wings, flying, every sort of dragon metaphor imaginable. A song that really proves he shines most as a pop-punk star. Such a rock star, with such a screw you attitude, very emo, I'm so here for it. Woods, I Hate You. A really catchy hook, a cool echoey effect in the chorus, and I'm obsessed with Do Hanse's rap, part of Victon's Stupid O'Clock. Yering's whole album, Aria, really does find artful, poetic ways to describe coming into her own, embracing who she is fully, and living unapologetically, and living her own life as a colorful main character. The biggest shout out should go to Believer and La La La. A bass, synth, and percussion heavy mix really makes this song go off, not just instrumentally, but I'm so here for it lyrically, with a fun metaphor about basically anti-aerial, like, hey, don't trap me in a literal bubble. I don't need a prince, I don't need that story. I'm not giving away my voice to someone. That love story's messed up. Les Seraphim, The Great Mermaid. This song has an improv feel, like they were just making it up as they went along, which goes with the theme of the song, and it's very uncharacteristic of anything easy to describe, indescribably unique, and very zigzagging. Yonzo Kenshi, Pop Song. A song very classically them, that no one else could sing it, and it's very on point thematically, sonically, in its OST-worthy nature. Kingdom, Ascension. A collaboration between an American artist and a Korean one. It's a collab that deserves much more love. I genuinely believe that, but full disclosure, I did interview both artists involved too. Love Abstract and Hamming You with Select. Millennium Parade, really knocking it out of the park these days, with their very theme song perfect songs, like No Time to Cast Anchor, and the equally unconventional, thematically appropriate Secret Ceremony. They understand their assignments. These bands are both so talented and such a match made in heaven when teaming up. The collab you didn't know you needed in your life. A violin and guitar session worth envying. Lucy and Daybreak, Oh Eh. A road trip perfect song, nice to clap along to or just sing along to, and it feels like you could, without knowing how to play the piano, play the song and get a few of the notes in there. It feels very DIY piano playing, just sounds like truly spontaneous fun. Brings the message of the song to light, about hey, don't let this get you down. Let's just sing na 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 together. We don't even need to know the words to a song or how to play it on an instrument to enjoy it. Novelcore, featuring Ale the Shota, Happy Tears. This song really makes you feel their emotions, their pain, their sense of please save me. Like you want to just reach out and help them. They really up the acting skills now, / just demonstrate their post-breakup relatable feelings in a way that is inspired by classical music in an interesting shift for them. TXT, opening sequence. I also, of course, have to shout out Good Boy Gone Bad, their new title track, because that's also new for them. The way they express their angst vocally can be felt, but, as always, in a new way. They never redo the same song twice. Lastly, the 17 songs I want to shout out. It was really hard to pick between all of them, of course, but I think the ones that really sonically and lyrically and thematically are the most distinct, profound, impressive, artful, considering their growth, their past work, all of that. After a lot of thought, I've chosen Shadow and Don Quixote. How about some honorable mentions? A smooth R&B jam from Jimmy Brown, Heaven. More smooth R&B, 12, Excuses. Another beautiful showcase of her solo vocals, with a sweet message about broken diamonds are still shining. Sorn, Scorpio. A super beautiful but really sad ballad, Kyun Dasum's I'm Sorry Mother. A very, very, very catchy song that feels like it's blah, just another auto-tune vocal pop song, but it just sticks in your head until you finally admit what an earworm it is. B.O.'s B-E', Love Me. Another song in the same vein as Cypher's Fame, in the sense that it feels like just another K-pop release, but you really need to give it time to realize how catchy and what a standout it is Ghost 9's X-Ray. A rousing song with energy in spades, Nissy's The Ride. A future pop song with interesting start and stops, ebbs and flows, and a message perfect for them about emerging into this new world, breaking the code. It ties in with their whole music video story well to make this song have more personality than just your average K-pop release. Cypher, Fame. This whole album is a very fun acoustic meets synth pop, electronic meets organic blend that's just very breezy, easy listening despite the blending. It stays pretty simplistic in its appeal, great for road trips. Hirodai's whole album, but I will sum it up as definitively best to shout out Hero and Good Time. Short but sweet rock song with a pop-leaning angle to it. Kim Jong-kook's Don't Forget Me. Another incredibly stirring delivery about admitting, face it, this relationship needs a lot of repairs or it needs to be abandoned. Millet on, come here. Some really emotional, meaningful reflections on their past releases, chock full of nods to past work, both in BTS's Yet to Come and Epic High's prequel. I could not pick just one of their new, very synthy, playful debut songs, so I picked two really catchy pop songs that are just very, very synthy fun. Vivi's Bop Bop and Tweet Tweet. A unique retro sound paired with stellar vocals, Keek 50's Fall Asleep. Continuing to show his solo star potential on a rock ballad, AB6's Lee Dae-hui with In Your Eyes. A thrill ride of a release, build up on top of build up on top of build up. The rampage is well titled Top of the Top. A budding standout songstress, accompanied by a legendary rock guitarist. Mei Mei featuring Miyavi, Strangers. A beautiful concert finale song, really special, and the confetti falls, and everyone's just cheering together, really sweet. Monsta X's Love You, Stand Together. It has a couple different direct translations, but you know it if you know it. A song that symbolizes some musical growth. I see it as quite a nice big step forward for him, with more prolonged choruses, more in-depth storytelling than before, a title track that allows his musical journey to progress. Kim Woo-suk, Switch. A very charming song by one of my favorite people ever that puzzles over how to make sense of a crush and cutely expresses frustration, exasperation, trying to get to the bottom of what love is all about, wishing there was just one clear-cut answer to go to, or a clear guidebook. Taeyeon, featuring Weinstein, Love Theory. The American Song Contest winner for good reason. A reimagining of an age-old story for a riveting performance and a catchy hook. Alexa, Wonderland. Lots of fun sing-along moments in this song, skiddly beat-bop-boo stuff, other fun onomatopoeia almost moments, or gibberish moments. Hard to explain, but very quirky. But it mixes that youthfulness with some more mature, sassy, bold confidence, blending the collaborators' personalities well, balancing them out. Momoland and Naughty Natasha, Yummy Yummy Love. A song that maintains the drama of the previous songs on the album, if not kicking it up even another notch, and really again proving, wow, his voice is one for the history books. Max Changmin, Fever. A song perfect for crowds, parades, parties, etc. Just very uplifting. AB6's 123. An all too short but captivating listening experience with just the incredible, could make the phone book sound enthralling voice. Davita's Eat Your Heart Out Buddy Kane. A song about feeling hurt but getting back up again, delivered just with an outstandingly smooth, impressive delivery in a simplistic melody line, but made way more interesting because she's a one-of-a-kind singer who you can tell really feels the music she's singing about. Taeyeon, I Envy You. A pop-punk jam reminiscent of Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo. Son Soo-woo, Love Me or Hate Me. A piano-led song with funky synths that go in and out. No Knock, NONOC, Change. A synth-pop song that's new to them too, with the unique rapid-fire talk-singing delivery at times. Cherry Bullet, Love in Space. An ironically uplifting song with this ascending structure crafted really well with the guitars and drums. TVXQ, Storm Chaser. A simply devastating song, but really well done, and very them, like no one else could pull off the song quite like them. Stray Kids, Lonely Street. A very uplifting song that brings to life the vibe they were going for the whole album, for the whole comeback. This sense of being, quote, free-spirited rebels, going against reality, and making the most of life, and growing inside it, unquote. Gravity, Adrenaline. A song with kind of an industrial, unexpected for them, tilt, yet classic, quirky sounds, and moments in there still to just show off. They're really powerhouse voices. They really just add the drama, building up the drama with every note. Purple Kiss, MEMEM. A beautiful ballad she helped write and produce that's a tribute to moms and the work that goes into, and the emotional work too, that goes into being one. Haze, Mother. A song Yoon from Winner, gifted to Icon, Gold, has really funny lyrics about, I'll ignore Murphy's Law, time is gold and I'm a beggar. Another unique addition to Kane Daniels' anthology-style album, the gospel-influenced How We Live, featuring Sokodomo. Another smooth vocalist match made in heaven that really I think sets the stage for a very cool new musical chapter and a level of fame for both of them. B.I. and Davita's BTBT featuring Soulja Boy. Two vocal powerhouses teaming up. It's what dreams are made of. Davi and Yoonha, Flying With You. A smooth, underrated synth-pop jam that was a Spotify exclusive, so not promoted as much as it deserved. Sunmi's Oh Sorry Ya. a feel-good, breezy song that was rightfully used as an OST, Shido's Free. An irreplaceable signature style with the cool flute, the can-do attitude that just fills every note they sing. They bring the energy to it. DKB Sober. A song it is just impossible not to like, not just because of the legends teaming up, but because of how happy and optimistic it is. Psy featuring Suga, that. Ambiguous lyrics about how to turn pain into power and lessons learned, trying to get to the place where you feel like a flower blooming and no longer wilting. Poetic lyrics mixed with a really pleasant string arrangement and his characteristic, irreplaceable voice. Yonzo Kenshi, M87. A song he actually played the saxophone on himself after teaching himself. Jun Sewon featuring Zero, Pull Me Down. A punk headbanger about just embracing spontaneity, taking risks, what a rock and roll life is really all about. Woods, Hijack. A song about feeling unsatisfied in a relationship that questions, am I still in this just because I don't want to be alone, or I'm kidding myself about how really good this is for me. Those types of mature questions, but delivered in classic fashion for them that has youthful spirit, catchy synths, their trademarks. But the song does show they've also clearly done some growing up. Icon, But You. Dreamy synth sounds amplify the video viewing experience of them flying up above the clouds in this kind of alternate universe, like they really have dived right into a beautiful, fuzzy experience. I've loved Dive. A standout power ballad of an OST from a group who's brought you power ballad after power ballad throughout their career. F.I.R. Tattoo. A very comedic way to end the album. Lots of cheeky, flirty comments about, I don't care, I'm way too confident, my ego is way too strong for you to tear me down with those words. It's all mwah 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 to me. And can't you see, this love is worth pursuing. It's nothing. Brush away your worries. It's overall just about not taking a bunch of different things too seriously, letting them go. Solar, Zingle Zingle. A piece of classic J-pop perfection. What makes a perfect catchy J-pop song? Whatever they release, they did it once again this year. Perfume, Flow. A criminally underrated Japanese release. Just a stomping good time. You know, Dilemma. A really exciting solo pivot, getting to show off her voice in ways we haven't been able to hear before, with very sassy lyrics about, guess I didn't learn my lesson, oh well, I play with sharp objects, I live on the edge, you can't tell me what to do, but said in a very cavalier tone, as if she has a lot of secrets she's holding back, but doesn't want to share her whole life story to you yet, just smartly piquing your curiosity. Sorn, Sharp Objects. A J-pop song both brassy and jazzy, just very lively and fun. Tokyo Girl Style, A City Without You Alone. A Chinese OST that really slowly builds up the drama, and then just goes for it in the chorus, but not too much. It's not super intense, but it's easy listening. Great OST material. Justin, Star Expedition. Other notable new Yoshiki Izaki songs, if you like running, I Love Me, hardcore EDM, noise music pivot on B. The whole album is really, really fast-paced, hyper pop adjacent a little bit, meets. Maybe it's like a hyper rock. It's very one of a kind and worth your time. That's all for today. I hope it gave you a ton of great new songs to check out. More recommendations on the way, always, if you follow me on Substack, where I will link to all these songs, and on my site. So stay tuned, I love recommending this stuff for you. Let me know what your favorites are of the year so far. Thank you all for listening today, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye everybody!